Yes. Yeah. Morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not? Yes.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah. The Django framework, right? Yes. Python has got Python frameworks. We have got many frameworks for Python. Python frameworks. In that, Django framework is the most commonly used framework. It's the most powerful framework of Python. Django framework, D silent. We say like D silent, we just say Django framework. FLASK. See, I said Python was introduced in the year 1989. Python was introduced in the year 1989. Before Java itself, Python was introduced. Python in the year 1989. Java was introduced in the year 1994. Yes. But if you observe, right, many applications, most of the applications, if you see, you may ask, many applications we are developing from using Java and .NET. Yes, Gopichan, those also will be provided, right? Yes.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
But from the law, if you see, if you observe carefully, right, even if you come to 2010 or 2008 or 10, if you observe, right, most of them doesn't know that there was a programming language like Python. So people, most of them, they're building applications in Java, .NET, all this means web applications creations using this Java, .NET, these things. But Python, if you see, all of a sudden Python became super popular because of its modular programming features. Thousands of modules, like 89,300 modules it is providing. Means especially all of a sudden Python became super popular because lot of things were introduced. See, Python 3 version, the version what we are using is Python 3 version from the year 2008 onwards. So many features were introduced. And if you see, mostly like today, Python used for different areas. Python used in different areas, right? Yes. After you update Python, after you're updating Python, okay. If you want to do project in Python, if you are doing means implementation in Python, if you see any project, if you take, you can implement in any language like Python or Java. In different languages, you can implement a project. But only thing is the logic will be same, but only the programming will be differing. The programming is going to differ. How you define a variable, how to define a function, how to define a collection and a list, or like these things will be differing. So you can, okay, but you may ask, from the last 20-25 years, right? Most of the web applications, many web applications developed using Java and .NET, other programming languages. Why you go for Python now? Why we choose for Python? Because what advantages we get? What advantages we get using Python means Python is providing frameworks like Django, Flask, many other frameworks. I'm going to some powerful features, flexible features is provided by these frameworks like Django framework. It is providing some flexible features. First thing is using Python, already you know, very less coding. Excuse me. Very less coding. Main thing why you choose for Python means you want to develop an application or a web applications using Python means very less coding. Simple. Second thing is simple syntaxes. You already know very less coding in Python means very less coding means not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming. Simple syntaxes, thousands of modules, thousands of modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules it is providing for different environments. We can make use of those. Whatever project you are doing, right, we can make use of that. Many Python modules are there. Because of these modules only, right, Python is mostly used. One second, right? One second. Okay. Very less coding, simple syntaxes, thousands of modules. Means any types of applications, any types of systems you can create, any kind of applications. So many type of applications, right? Yes. Some query was asked, right? Yes. Ritish Sharma, right? So for the next 1 month, we won't be discussing anything related to any framework. Once again, I repeat, people who are attending Python currently, right? Once again, I repeat. So we'll be
Sir,
discussing
your voice
UI
is
technique.
breaking. Hello?
1 second.
Voice is clear, sir. No problem for me.
Why voice is clear to all? Once
Yes.
again, anyone please confirm?
Clear,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yes. So just
Voice is
I'm discussing, right? Why you are choosing Python for developing an web applications or applications? Why you today Python is chosen for developing web applications means many reasons are there. Many reasons. First reason is people like very less coding. If you see, okay, Java is also a powerful language. Java is also a powerful language. And also there are many advantages of Python over Java and Java over Python. One advantage of Java over Python. See, many advantages of Python over Java. See, today if we see the talk of the industry, data science, machine learning, AI, deep learning, or if we talk about data analytics, right? All this implementation going in Python language, implementation, the coding, your coding, programming, everything in Python. Java is never preferred for this implementing data science, ML, AI, all these things. Java is never preferred. So Python, as it has got thousands of modules, that is one of the reasons providing models for different environments. That is one of the reason. And even today, Python is used in web applications. Not only web applications, different varieties of applications you are developing today in gaming environment, in this web applications, in graphical applications, animation applications. Right? Python is mostly preferred because many modules, and that too with less codings, with simple syntaxes. One more thing is like multi-programming features. Multi-programming, multi-programming, right? So if you take Java programming, right, only object-oriented programming features only can be used. Java has got, okay, Python has got object-oriented, procedural-oriented, scripting, modular programming. So multiple programming, that's why we call Python as a hybrid language. So more flexible features. Even for research and development, Python is mostly preferred because of this multi-programming features. Python, if you compare with Java, Java has got only without object-oriented programming, you cannot write a single Java application. If you want to just print hello in Java, you need to write a class compulsory. Without class means without object-oriented programming, we cannot write a Java program or Java application. So in Python, we can use okay object-oriented or procedural-oriented or modular programming. Anything can be used. And already you know, right? Any varieties of applications, you can develop any wide varieties of applications you can develop any varieties of applications. Hmm. Any types of applications, right? And what are the advantages of Java over Python? Anyone? Java over Python? Advantages of Java over Python, right? Yes. What are the advantages of Java over Python means? Yes. Frameworks means software. Yes. Java is faster than Python. Java is faster than Python. Any varieties of applications, you can develop. Any varieties of applications you can develop. Yes. Except Python can develop any kind of applications except a mobile application. Java mostly used in mobile applications. Mobile applications. So in the interviews also they ask we develop mobile applications using Python means it say like Python is very less used means there is a limitation in Python, very less used in mobile applications. Java is mostly used in mobile applications. Java is faster than Python because of this JVM in Python in Java virtual machine. Python is interpretation line by line execution. It is slow as compared, and it is very less used in mobile applications. These are the two limitations of Python. Remaining everything, if you see the features of Python, they're flexible and these things. Wide varieties of application. It is a general purpose programming language. Any varieties of applications you can develop. Right. Framework, just now someone, right? Framework is a code library. Using that, we can develop flexible applications, web applications. If you want to do a project in Python, compulsory these frameworks required. Compulsory need to have the knowledge about these frameworks. If you want to do a project in Python, compulsory you need to have the knowledge on these frameworks. Is my screen visible? Many queries from the students, right? Is my screen visible and is my voice clear to all?
Visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah.
Okay, Mira, it is from your side only, right? Pascal. Okay, so different frameworks of Python. DJANGO is one, FLASK is one, Pyramid, Bottle, TurboGear. So these are the different frameworks of Python. Among all this, Django and Flask mostly used framework, right? Django is mostly used, most commonly used framework and most powerful framework among these, right? For developing applications in Python. You want to do a projects in Python, right? You need to use. See, people, if you see projects are done in Python, if you talk, even if in your academic levels like BTech or MTech, many projects are implemented using Python today. Means you will be doing web applications and also using different domains, using data science, using big data domains, many projects related to data science, big data, data engineering levels, and on this web applications using this Django framework. Django framework, many flexible features, Means even 40 to 40% of the code is already available. If you see, if you open this Django framework, 40% of the code is already available. You don't need to write huge codings. Already Python has got less code. Again, this providing code, ready-made code is available. And many flexible options it is providing. Now, if I talk about Python full stack, many people has got many queries related to this front end, back end, right? What are the back end technologies? What are the front end technologies? If you go to the interviews, right, what is your back end? What is your front end? So you need to clearly understand what are front end technologies, what are the back end technologies, and Python full stack developer. So some queries I can see in the chart, right? Yes, people who are already updating with Python. See, immediately I'm not going to start with the framework, Django framework. So first, the prerequisites, whatever required for that, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all this will be discussed because to develop a web page, means you are interacting with the web page, right? So first you need to know how to develop this web page using this technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These things doesn't require any Python knowledge, right? Yes. What is it? Yeah, Ritish Sharma, right? Ritish Sharma.
Yes.
So immediately this framework is not going to be started. We'll be discussing HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It takes more than a month for that to complete.
Okay.
In Python world, there are three positions mainly. You can say like back end. Back end developer, front end developer, full stack developer. Back end, front end. See, simple in a simple way. Okay. First, I'll discuss about a front end. Front end developer, front end technologies. Try to say what are the front end technologies. Front end developer.
HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Node.js,
React.js,
Front end developer is responsible for what?
appearance of a web page,
They are responsible for how good data appears to the users or appearance on the web page, right? That is. How good data appears to the users, right? That is how good. How good the data is presented on the web page. How good the data is presented on the web page. Example of front-end technologies, right? Yes. HTML, CSS. Example of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. JavaScript. What other front-end technologies like HTML is mostly used? HTML, CSS, right? Bootstrap, JavaScript. HTML generally we use for presenting data on the web page. How would you present the data? How with the different colors, fonts, images, tables, right? You are going to present the data. There's one more, XML is there. XML is for representing the data. HTML is for presenting the data. Whatever data, how would you present? CSS for adding styles, different styles and things to HTML. Bootstrap for predefined styles. So already some predefined styles, right? JavaScript for adding dynamic nature. For adding dynamic nature. For adding dynamic nature to HTML pages, right? For presenting data on the web page, for adding styles to HTML, for predefined styles, for adding dynamic nature. So using this, how we are going to present the data on the web page or to the users. Generally, HTML provides static responses. HTML, there is no dynamic response. HTML is everything static response. Generally, JavaScript is there, right? HTML along with the combination of JavaScript, right? JavaScript, dynamic response. To display data. Of a product or organization. Display data of product or organization. HTML is enough. HTML is enough. Static response. Means daily if you observe, right? For example, daily you open for example, a college website. Or if you talk about SBI or Facebook, if you talk about this Facebook homepage or SBI homepage or a college homepage, daily they look same, right? Daily if you open, they look same. Even if you open a college website, they look same, right? Every day. There won't be anything dynamic there to display that. They're just to display some product information, right? What do you mean by static response? What do you mean by static response? Means if response is not varied from time to time. If response is not varied from time to time. Example, just now I was talking, right? Homepage of any organization. Homepage of any organization. Homepage of a bank. Login page of login page. Gmail, Facebook, daily they look same, right? There won't be any change. Daily, they are not going to get changed. Talk about a dynamic response. Dynamic response. if response is varied from time to time. For example, if you take very simple like Gmail inbox, if you take, is it static? Daily it will show the same thing. Gmail inbox, daily it will be changing. You will be seeing a lot of, it is not static. You will see a lot of, if you see today, if you see after 1 week, if you see, it won't be same. Or if you see daily you are performing some transaction, bank transaction, right? So if you talk about the balance page, if you take the balance page of SBI, it also, if you see today, if you see after 10 days, if you see, it won't be the same, like same thing, right? Your balance sheet or balance page, net banking details, if you are seeing, right, many transactions should have been done, so it will be changing. Yes. So this is static and dynamic response. So generally, JavaScript used for dynamism, right? If you want to add some dynamic nature to this, and if you come to this backend developer, and what is going to deal with that? Deals with logic and the flow of data. Backend developer deals with logic and the flow of data. And generally, what he does, what response to be provided to the end user. What to display as response to the end user. If someone you are giving a request, so what to display as response to the end user. What are the backend technologies? Here we have 4 components. Backend developer, right? Here backend technologies, if we talk, we have got 4 things. Pradeep, yes, right? These frameworks are not built in Python. We are separately, you need to download and install these things. They are not inbuilt, yes. They have 4 components, right? First one, language. What language? Secondly, framework. Database. IDE, integrated development environment. Generally, backend means generally they say, okay, which language you are choosing. Python language. Are you choosing like Python? Are you choosing like Java? Like whichever you choose, right? Yes. Backend developer deals with logic and flow of data. What to display as response to the end user. And here we have got 4 components. Language, Python or Java, whatever you choose, right? Framework. So if you are using Python, okay. If you are choosing the language as Python, which framework? Like we have got many frameworks. Just now I said Django is the famous, and FLASK are mostly used to frameworks. We have got many frameworks. Just now someone asked, right? We have got many frameworks like Pyramid, Bottle, TurboGear. All these are the frameworks of Python. Among all this, Django is the mostly used, and next mostly used is FLASK. And database. Which database you are choosing? So it can be means compulsory. Your data has to be. There is no web application without a database. compulsory you need to have a database. Means you are storing that means a request response architecture. Just if you are clicking the submit button, your details has to be stored in the database. Means a registration form or any form, if you are filling any form, if you click submit button, your details has to be stored in the database. Tomorrow again, if you want to retrieve those details or if you want to compare the details, right? Yes, you need to, the details should be available in the database. Database, like what database you are choosing, like MySQL or Oracle or SQL Server, right? And this has got, Python has got its own inbuilt database, SQLite 3. SQLite 3 is the inbuilt database for this Django framework. Means if for lightweight components, you can go. For heavyweight, you need to go with this. And after that ID, what ID you will be using? Like generally for this Python is providing a PyCharm professional, right? PyCharm professional IDE. And community edition also there, but community edition is only for Python, not for web development, web applications creations, not for applications creations. Django is not supported in community edition. You need to go for PyCharm professional so that Django, Flask, all these frameworks will be supported. And one more framework we will be seeing as part of this course, VS Code. VS Code is totally free. You can just execute and check. PyCharm professional, right? Yes. So backend developer generally, like what is that language you are choosing, like Python, and that framework like Django, database like MySQL, Oracle, IDE like PyCharm and VS Code. Full stack developer. If you want to become a full stack developer, you need to have the knowledge about all these components what I discussed. As a front end and back end, he has to have the knowledge about all this front end, back end, all this. In a simple way, I can say bridge the gap between above two positions. Bridge the gap between the above two positions. I'll discuss about these roles and responsibilities of this full stack developer, right? Before that, creation of web applications, right? Roles and responsibilities. You need to know about roles and responsibilities. Python full stack developer. Developing and managing, right? Web applications. Developing and managing web applications. You need to work with the databases. Working with the templates. Nothing but front end. Working with the back end. working with web server. I need to have logical and problem solving. Logical and problem solving skills, right? What kind of applications are we developing means there are two categories of applications. There are two categories of applications, right? Yes. Online applications and batch applications. Online applications means user interactive applications. User interactive applications. Here user gives the input. Here user gives the input. Example of online applications. Booking a movie ticket. Making a online payment. Making online payment. So in this online, here user gives the input. If you're making online payment, the source, destination, everything, the details you will be providing. Booking a movie ticket also, right? You will be selecting many things. So, right, here user interactive. Batch applications means user non-interactive applications. User non-interactive applications. User non-interactive applications. Here user user is nowhere required. User is nowhere required. In online application, user compulsory. He is going to make the transaction. Here user is nowhere required. Example of batch application means, for example, batch means millions and trillions of records are involved transaction. Like example, railway ticketing PNR status. Railway ticketing PNR status. Yes, here currently your waiting state is 200. After 1 hour it became 150. Tomorrow morning it is 100. Tomorrow evening it got confirmed. Means here user is nothing. Here is user does nothing here. User is nowhere required. Everything happens in the background. Everything happening at the background, right? Next, for example, generating credit card bills for millions of customers. Generating credit card statements for millions of customers. Similarly, phone for millions of customers, right? All this doesn't require, user is nowhere required. Everything without user, right? Means millions and trillions of records we do. So generally, this online, if will be developing online web applications means this follows request response architecture. Here, request response architecture. Request response architecture. Giving a request, we will be getting response. Here, you want to give any request response. Here, this is master slave architecture. Master slave architecture. This architecture is different. Single master, multiple slaves, where the slaves will be storing all your data. Slaves will be processing your data. Here, if you give a request, you will get a response. So, yes. In a simple, we have user non-interactive applications, batch. Online application, user interactive applications. So here we are not going to deal with any batch applications. Batch applications means if you talk the whichever is dealing with the data, like data engineering, data science, and data analyst, all this, right? They deal with batch applications. Data engineer, data scientist, analyst, they are going to perform predictions. They are going data management, data processing, data predictions, data clustering, data recommendations, all this they do with that. Full stack development. Full stack development. It is a process. Full stack development means it is a process of developing front end as well as it is a process of developing both front end as well as back end applications. The process of developing both front end as well as back end applications. What is a web application? What is a web application? An application which provides service over the web. Which provides service over the web. Example, Gmail, Facebook, all this. You need to understand some web terminologies here. You need to understand some web terminologies. Web terminologies. As you are dealing with web applications creations. www. Internet. A web page. A website. A web application. A web browser. A web server. A web framework. What is that? Full form of www World Wide Web. World Wide Web. System of internet servers that supports hypertext documents. It's system of internet servers that supports hypertext documents. These documents are called as web pages. These documents are called as the starting point in a document. The starting point in a document. The starting point in a document is known as a home page. Yes. System of internet servers that supports hypertext documents. These documents are called as web pages. The starting point in a document is known as a home page. Web pages are identified by URLs. It is a huge network of network. It is a huge network of network. The service of internet. A web page. Web page, right? Document which is written. Document which is written in HTML. Document which is written in HTML, which brings together all the text, images, audio, video, hyperlinks, document which is written in HTML, which brings together, right? Which brings together, right? All the text, images, video, hyperlinks all at one place. Group of interlinked web pages. It is a group of interlinked web pages which has it is a group of interlinked web pages which has a single domain name and web application. An application which runs on a web server. An application which provides over the web. An application which provides service over the web. Web applications which runs on a web server, which provides service over the web. Web browser. So here we won't be executing as you do in Python, right? So like we will be giving the request always in the web browser, and you are going to get the response. The software used for browsing. The software used for browsing, example, right? Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer. Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer. Web server, the document that provides the users with the required documents through web server, through web browser. Web framework. So Django is a web framework, right? It is a code library. Flexible web applications. So this is something about this, right? What is web framework, web server, browser? So everything will be giving the request from this web browser. We'll be getting the response. Generally, web applications, they provide service over the web. So here we follow MVT architecture, MVT architecture. M means like a model, view, template, model, view, template. Models like related to database, view like Python functional views, Python functional views, or class views. Template. JavaScript. So here, how the interaction between this model, view, templates. See, templates, okay, you got a web page. How the interaction between the web page, database, in the middle, Python, right? Python takes the data from that web page and stores it in that database. Again, Python is going to fetch the data from that database, again displays on this web page. So this entire interaction, this MVT architecture, later I discuss in brief about these things. All right. So first I said I'll be starting with HTML. I'll be starting with HTML, right? So how to create a web page, if you got knowledge or not. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, right? Yes, I'll be discussing it. to display data. Okay. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap. This is my first discussion before I go with Django framework. So how to create a web page means interaction between the web page, database, the middle like Python, I said. So first this will be discussed. Coming to this, for all this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? You will be getting, you will be receiving the videos. Even if you miss the session, right? You will be getting the videos of each and every session. Clear notes for all these things you'll be getting, and assignments and tasks to work with. And you can, it's a hands-on batch where you can do parallelly along with me. What all the practicals we do, right? Everything you can do. If any errors, you can just say me, you can share the screen. Okay.
And using the Django framework, sir, we will develop the REST API, right? RESTful API.
See, REST API is different. Django is different. So Django framework, FLASK is a separate framework. REST API, okay.
So what we will do when the Django framework is
So it's not
exactly
part
in the
here.
backend?
Here REST
Mhm.
API is not part of this. They're not going to this. REST API is separate 2 months course.
Mhm.
Okay, pins if you want. So here, what will be our discussion is that this UI technologies, Django I'll be discussing, FLASK I'll be discussing, and a project I'll be discussing. So this is what that course structure. We can just check this, right? The Django framework in brief, FLASK, UI technologies, and how to develop applications here will be discussed. So from tomorrow onwards, this today is just an introductory session. What is Python full stack? Understood, right? What are the backend technologies? What are the front-end technologies? Backend developer, front-end developer, Python full stack developer, right? So just introduction to that. From tomorrow, we'll just discuss about, we'll go with HTML. From tomorrow, we'll go with HTML, right? HTML. Each and every tag per day. We have what lot of tags? One by one tag we'll be discussing practically. Tomorrow onwards, you can just do it parallelly. Otherwise, you can do it later. So tomorrow also you can attend. From next week onwards, again, the link will be changing. We will get a new link. So those who didn't get enrolled, try to get enrolled for getting the videos, for getting the notes, and a separate WhatsApp group for this framework, these things, right? Next Saturday it will be created, right? Next Saturday you will be added to the WhatsApp group. Once the link is changed, you'll be added to that, right? Any other queries you got? Yes, anyone?
What is REST API?
Hello? Yes, sir. So REST API is not part of our discussion, right? Yes, it's a different part. It's a different thing. There is only like a Django and Flask is our discussion. Still any other query?
Sir, class duration?
Class duration 9 to 11.
Okay, how sir?
9 o'clock to 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
It will be in the weekends only, sir? Only in
Saturdays
the
and
weekend?
Sundays. 2 hours on Saturdays, 2 hours on Sundays. So
Only
9 to 11,
weekend.
9 to 11 it will be. Only weekends.
How many weekends it will be completed?
So it takes around 2.5 months, 10 weekends it takes.
Okay.
Around 10 weekends.
Sir, we already enrolled for Python, right? For this, again 5,000 or 6,000 we need to pay.
So here, those who have already enrolled for Python full stack. So those who have already enrolled for full stack, right? Yes. They can directly attend. So the course fee is 6,000 for all these things. Means who didn't enroll. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Django, Flask, and the project. Plus course fees. You can just about the fees, you can have discussion with this. Can you see in the Zoom chart, a big message is given by this online team. So for that fees, the things, right? You can just check with that. What is that?
Okay, sir.
Okay, you can just check with that contact details. So tomorrow also you can attend. From next week onwards, the link will be changed. You will be added to the group.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you please add me in WhatsApp group for 10 p.m. batch?
Yeah. You have given a message. Once again, just give a message now.
It's 9 p.m. Okay, not the 10 p.m.
Ritesh Sharma, give a WhatsApp message on that number. Okay. Any other queries you got? Anyone? Right. So you can see the contact details, the course content details, other things, right? Yes.
For JavaScript, sir, it will not be the pure JavaScript. It will be the included into the HTML file, something like that we will learn.
So JavaScript is also a language, right? It's an interpretation language. You'll be learning code in JavaScript, how to, it's a language, separate things. There also we will be how to define variables, how to define the loops, how to define the functions, everything we'll be discussing there. It is also just a language, right? It's like Python language. It is also interpretation language. You'll be learning about those things. And it's got many built objects. The objects will be discussed in that.
So we will learn like complete JavaScript. Okay. Correct.
JavaScript will be discussed. Yes, it's a language will be discussed.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll meet same time at 9 o'clock. More discussion on this. Tomorrow we'll start with HTML, right? Basics of HTML. Fine. So I'll stop for now. We'll continue tomorrow. Follow the same link for tomorrow's class at same time at 9 o'clock. Fine. Thank you.